Well, hello. Let's talk about a few things that I did when I first started out as a beginner worm farmer. First thing I would do was I would feed my worms way too much food. And that's a huge rookie mistake that we have all made starting out. When it comes to your worms, you don't have to feed them a lot of food because they will be happy if you give them more bedding than food scraps. And this bin right here has red wigglers and blue worms. And the mistake I made was that I didn't read the fine print, and I got my first batch of worms from Uncle Jim's Worm Farm. So just be careful, because if you do not read the fine print, they do have a mixture of red wigglers and blue worms mixed together. So I didn't know that back then, so I didn't know any difference. So that's one thing just to consider whenever you're buying worms from vendors, is to make sure that you're buying the proper worms that you think you're buying. But now there is an access to strictly red wigglers. Be impatient with my worms. I would expect as soon as I got my worms, within 3 months, I should be able to split my worm bin. But just think about this. The size of this worm bin I have right here is about a 30-gallon tote. There is plenty of room for my worm colony to grow. So technically it would take a long time for this worm bin to have to be splitted. But if you're going to be impatient and want to split your worm bins, I would just say sorry about the high-pitched Michael Jackson screech, but the main thing you would want to do is, if you bought a pound of worms, which is roughly 1,000 or a little bit over 1,000 or a little bit over worms, you would split 500 to 500, and that way you would not even have to worry about splitting your worm bins. The main thing you would have to do is just make sure that you would harvest your castings, add fresh bedding, and that would allow you to keep getting more worms inside of your worm bin. You just have to let worms chill out, do their thing, allow them to multiply, like by reproducing, making castings. And that's the everyday life of a worm. Eat, mate, poop. That's about it. So just leave the worms alone. Let worms be worms. Just feed them about every 2 or 3 weeks. Add more paper, and your worms will be fine. Worms will be okay. They've been around way before we have. And my final mistake that I did when I first started worm farming was overthinking the situation, not trying to keep it simple. When you keep it simple, life's a lot easier. You don't have to do a lot of overthinking when it comes to your worms. When in doubt, just add more paper. Just make sure that the bin is moist, and your worms are going to be just fine. So when it came to you, question for you, when you first started, what was your biggest mistakes that you made as a beginner? So that way you can share your feedback with other worm farmers that are interested in the comments box. But if you're interested, You can support my channel by giving this video a like. You can share it. You can hype it. Or you can join my monthly channel member. Ruby, get out of there. My monthly channel membership for 99 cents. Try it out for a month. Let me know what you like or you don't like, so that way I can make my members only content a lot better. But the main thing is, like I said, keep it simple. Find out what works best for you. And if you want to see a mistake that worm farmers make, go on YouTube, search the net, find out common mistakes. But my main mistakes, once again, were overfeeding, being impatient, and not keeping things simple. So that's it for now. Let's check out this video right here.